One of the things I have been thinking about lately is this. I feel like one of the problems with the world is that we walk around with a sense that we have been promised things. Not one thing, a lot of things. And if you pause and ask yourself, what exactly were you promised? You'll probably come up with a whole list. A good life, fairness, that things will make sense, the effort will lead somewhere. But then if you ask the next question, who promised you these things? That's where it gets become a bit unclear. There's a fog. Take a very simple example. You hear people say, we were promised flying cars, right? It sounds almost obvious when you say it like that. But then, who promised that? Was it a scientist, a government? No, it was movies, books, ideas, Back to the Future, the film, science fiction, cultural imagination. And somehow they turn into a feeling of being promised something real. And I think this happens in a much deeper way across our lives. If I try to break it down, these promises seem to come from a few different places. Some of them come from culture, movies, stories, ideas. They don't have authority, but they do shape expectation. Some come from institutions. A country, for example, gives you the expectation that there will be fairness, justice, equal opportunity. Religion might give you the idea that good will be rewarded and wrong will be punished. If not here, then somewhere else. And then there's society itself. And this is probably the most powerful one. We grew up hearing things like, if there's a problem, there's a solution. Or hard work always pays off. Or if you have talent, it will find its way out. And over time, these stop sounding like observations. They start sounding like guarantees. But again, who actually guaranteed this? Did your parents say it? Maybe. But they probably heard it from somewhere too. And we do the same thing. We pass it on without thinking too much. So at some point, we internalize all of this. And it becomes the quiet belief, life owes me certain things. And then reality happens. Things don't work. Effort doesn't always pay off. Fairness doesn't always show up. And we feel betrayed. But here's the strange part. We don't really know who betrayed us. So the blame starts moving around. Sometimes it's the system, sometimes society, sometimes previous generations, sometimes even God. But if you keep digging deeper, the target becomes less and less clear. The anger stays, but the object of that anger becomes unstable. Now, here's where it gets interesting. This whole thing, the fog of promises, it's not entirely useless. In fact, it can be shown that it might be necessary. Because imagine growing up with none of these beliefs. No sense that things will work out. No sense that effort matters. No sense of meaning. Why would you even move? It's almost like these promises give us the initial push. Think about like when a car engine stalls, you push it from behind just enough to get started. Once it's running, it can run on its own. Or think about childhood. We tell children stories. Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny. Not because they're true, but because they serve a purpose at that age. They help move the child forward. And maybe a lot of these promises in life work the same way. They're not entirely real, but they help us begin. The problem is, we often never go back and question them. So maybe the point is not to reject all of it, but to become aware of it. Maybe when we feel deeply wronged by life, we can pause and ask, what exactly do I feel was promised to me? And more importantly, who actually made that promise? And sometimes the answer might be, no one really. And that's uncomfortable. But maybe that's also part of growing up, learning to live, to act, to hope. Not because something is guaranteed, but because you choose to move anyway, even without that fog.